Okay, so I guess I was just muted, so I don't know if anybody anybody heard the recording, but we called the meeting to order. There's no correspondence or citizen statements petitions. We went to number 5, which is the special town meeting, proposed date of November 6th, 2023. So I'd be looking for a motion.
I move that the board vote to call a special town meeting on Monday, November 6, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Misco Hills School. And to immediately open the warrant for submission of articles for the meeting, and further to close the warrant on, what time was that?
We would, let's say we'll do it, either close it on October 30th, which would be 1 week. Actually, you know what? We don't need to vote on a date to close the warrant. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that and just leave it open.
Keep it open.
We'll keep it open.
I just
until we
want to,
make another motion to close it.
Well, second,
All right.
sorry, if you're done with, sorry.
Yeah, well, it just it listed Misco Spring, and
Yeah, I know.
It is
Yeah,
Misco
Misco
Hill,
Hill
right?
Middle School. Yes. All right. All those in favor?
I
All right. All right. Now let's go back
can
to
I
number
say
4,
something?
which is a discussion about the Mendon Select Board and Parks Department regarding sponsorship for the Rock the Block event. Now, I know Parks is posted, right? So do you guys want to
Yeah.
call your meeting to order?
Yeah, I guess don't need to do that, so I guess we're in session then.
Okay. So
Myself and AJ.
So I know that Lonnie and I had a conversation. He brought a contract for me to sign for the fireworks. And it was done informally, but where it's at the Parks Department, I think, like every other event, we need to really formalize the vote about who's actually, running the event. I know there's a lot of sponsorship, and we certainly have money in the budget to pay whatever we need to pay, within the constraints of the budget. But I just want to be clear that I think it should be the Parks Department that should, run the event. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts about it are.
Yeah, I think my only thought, I mean, at this point, you've already got a group that's done whatever, right? So it would just end up being a subcommittee under the commission, because I don't think we really have the time to take on another project, but it sounds like you've got a group of people that's doing the majority of the work, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as what we did last year, it's pretty much the same crew. That, the stage, the stage crew, they come, they set up, they handle all that.
Yeah.
The Party RI company, they come, they set up the tent, they handle all of they send their own staff to maintain all of the bouncy events and the fundraising stuff that then we allow the whatever sporting. So for instance, it's gonna be sports teams from Nipmuc or, Nipmuc Youth, whatever it might be, that come and they actually run with somebody from the company. And I think the Boy Scouts troops they're doing some stuff as well. And so the money that they raise goes towards whatever group that is. They keep money there.
I think the important point that I just wanted to get at was that much like if Mendon Youth Baseball, has events that run at the park, right? It's under the supervision of the Parks Department and of the town. And then we can go to Meyer and get an insurance policy, but the event, whoever's hosting the event needs to have a policy. For instance, this proposal for the fireworks, they've named, they named the town of Mendon as a certificate holder, meaning that, they hold us as another insured for this event. So, but again, they are legally because, because we're gonna give them permission. So, we're gonna give a vote to grant permission, for this American Thunder fireworks to hold a fireworks show. But at the same time, I think it needs to be the Parks Department that gives the Rock the Block group permission to
Right.
run an event there, right?
So that was my question, I asked you the other day. So, normally like baseball, we issue them a facility use permit, that gives them times and then they do their thing. I think this is more like kind of the 350th where it's, is this an event sponsored by a completely private organization? Or is this sponsored by the town, which gives a certain, especially if the money is flowing through town accounts, it probably makes sense to say this is a town event.
Mhm.
Certainly you have volunteers and all that organizing it, that doesn't change. I think that's just, so it sounds like that's the question we're answering tonight, because otherwise parks, I mean, we would just give them a field use permit like we did last time and.
So do you,
Yeah, my other thought is, whether or not we actually are able to take on an event like this. So I'm not saying we wouldn't.
well, I think it's just a matter of us giving permission to this group to hold an event.
Is the group continue on?
So this is the group, so we're not, it's not a town event, it's a whatever Rock the Block committee,
It's hybrid, I guess.
that's the question.
I guess it was never really formalized even last year what it was just a bunch of people that got together.
Right.
That, and I just happened to be a selectman last year, so maybe it was slightly different.
Well, that's how I took it, was that, we made a motion to allow the event to allow the event to go forward, and you were the representative from the select board that really supervised, because let's face it, you did organize this whole thing. I mean, I know there were a lot of other people that were involved, but you were the point person.
If we're using tax dollars to support it, this probably should be on paper a town event.
Yeah, and that's a motion we're gonna make, but it
Falls under parks,
But it's, Parks just wants to vote to allow the event. I mean, then
Right.
Parks has voted to allow the event.
and that's all that needs to happen.
I would, but wouldn't it be, and I guess we can decide on this later. So I guess we could do that, right?
Well, we need to, no, we need to,
Like this event versus next year, we can take some more time and think.
Sure,
about
but
what
for-
we need to do
for this iteration right now, that's why we're having this meeting, is for you as a Parks Department to give the Rock the Block committee permission to hold their event. And then we're gonna also give them permission, then it's a town event, but with the understanding is the Rock the Block committee is running the event,
Yeah, and I think next year, maybe.
Going to just for
Just
this one.
just for this one.
Yeah.
And then you can,
And then maybe, we can.
Well, my thought is next year, then, I think the block should be a subcommittee, either appointed, like
Sure.
a park subcommittee or a select one subcommittee, just so
Sure.
it's more formalized, but still, if you've got the people doing the work, let's keep them. Because that's a lot of work, and like, I don't, we can't take that on.
Yeah.
But if they're willing to put in the time, that's incredible, so we don't want to lose them.
Yeah, it just, if we're comparing it to last year, we just expect to be even more organized this year just because it was the unknown last year.
well, it seems to be.
Yeah.
It seems to be very organized.
Yeah,
And-
it's much smoother this year, so far, and the day of thing is not. It's not really difficult, it's just a lot of money. I don't know.
Yeah, if you do it right, if you do an event, I used to help organize a 4-day camping trip on the Cape for every Boy Scout troop in Massachusetts, and a bunch would come from as far away as New Jersey. And when the event starts, that's pretty easy.
Yeah,
It's leading up to it that's really getting everything in place, and that's what's happened now, I guess. So just so we're clear, what is the date
September 9th,
and what are the hours?
2 to 11.
And it's actually at
Memorial Field.
Memorial Field, at the fields off of Millville
If
Road.
you'd like to add that, parking will be at the the Pino Land,
Mhm.
just the top section. We have a shuttle and, obviously the shuttle service, but that doesn't really need to be in it, but, for the buses.
And everybody's insured and,
Yep, and if we will get, if we need, because the bus company is,
Also,
no,
or
Vendetti.
Yeah.
Vendetti Bus Company, so yeah, that's just the parking would be there, that's all.
so basically what this board is going to do is to make a motion to allow the Rock the Block event to go forward at Memorial Field off of Millville Road on September 9th from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. I just,
So moved.
we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
We'll similar.
yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of specific questions, but we need to get to that now, but I think the event is fine, I think everything was fine last year, it's clear that this group knows what they're doing, and.
Right.
And, I think Parks is, I think we're okay supporting it this year.
Yeah.
And then
Next year about how to structure it.
And then as part of that event, I have a contract that I've been asked to sign by American Thunder Fireworks, for a fireworks show that they're gonna set off at the end of that event. And they provided a certificate of liability to the town, where they hold the town of Minden harmless. It's in the aggregate of $4 million. So it's a $4 million. Each occurrence is $1 million in the, $1 million personal and personal injury, 2 million general aggregate, 2 million products. So the aggregate is 4 million per occurrence, which is legalese, insurance ease. But they've bound the towns, but they have insurance, and we'll have Maya will be aware of it. So since we've allowed it, then we'll be covered insurance wise, and the Parks Department is aware of it. And because that field is under your supervision,
Sure.
you've in addition to that, we already gave a 1-day liquor license to the Brothers of the Brush to have a malt liquor.
And they also have policy for that.
Right.
Right.
Right. So, is there anything else that we want to talk about, or?
Yeah, just that, we're excited to have the event again. We expect it to go off even smoother than last year, just because we now know a few things. We go put the signs up for handicap parking the night before. Unfortunately, they are not gonna have the trolley tour this year for the historical district. Rich is a bit overwhelmed with a few things he has going on. If this continues next year, he hopes to bring it back next year and have a real trolley. That seems to be I guess there's some huge event at the same time every year, and trying to get a trolley out of Boston and Providence is pretty difficult. So, yeah, there's the three bands again that are coming, ending the night with the Peach Eaters again, which is a really good band, a lot of fun. Ending with fireworks, we have way more food trucks this year. We actually used a food truck broker that have helped us.
Yeah, the post.
Yeah, helped us this year, with actual, we did get a little bit, some of them didn't show up last year on us. So having the broker now and having commitments and contracts with them was a thing that we learned. And so that's huge. So, because again, we kind of ran out of food early last year, and some of the places weren't even really food. They were, juices and coffee truck and things like that. So we really expect that to be a lot better this year than last year.
So there'll be an accounting, because the money collected will go back into the general fund. And
Yeah, so all money that's collected right now is going into, it's all sent to the town. We don't
Okay.
need, I mean, I might go pick up the check from.
no, I understand, but
But it's given to finance department. They're putting it into the Meninfest account, because that's, I believe, we created a revolving account.
Yes,
if I'm correct,
right,
and
special account.
Yeah.
Right.
And right now we're about break even, but we expect more money to be coming in. But there'll probably be a couple more bills that come in, but it should be close to break even. So we hopefully don't even have to use much, or if any, of what was allocated at annual town meeting. So if that's the case, it'll be really good. So.
All right.
Lisa's all set.
Yep, Dave had said that he was gonna get with the folks at his department, and they were just gonna see what they did last year. Fire department's actually bringing a fire truck up. They're gonna use it as a recruiting for the on-call department. So they're gonna use it, and also have it kind of be touch a truck for kids too. We'll park them in the food truck area, and they'll be on site if something, if there is an emergency. And if need be, if they need to get out, we'll set it so that they can pull right out if they have to get out of there to go to any type of emergency. But they do need it. The detail is already gonna be there for the fireworks anyhow.
Okay.
So that'll be great. They worked all that out. And I'll get with Dan on the questions he has or concerns, and.
We're just making sure access and what you need from us, and it sounds, the parking was within my questions, so it sounds like you already solved that.
Yeah, so it's the same as parking up there.
It's just,
I'll forward you
Yeah.
what the layout is right now.
yeah. It's hard with this, because, and we learned this too, people just show up, and if there's not a physical barricade, they're gonna park there.
Yeah. And
It's
just,
it's human nature.
at the end of the day, we're really concerned more about on-site is because we're having vendors this year, not a lot, but a few vendors that, that was actually some income that was coming in as well. We were charging $50 per vendor, so that's a little bit more that will come in. That we'll have vendor parking on the side of, if you were there last year, where, let me start.
So the vendors will park up at the field, but all of the attendees need to park across from Clough.
Unless they're handicapped, right?
Right, we have handicap parking there along the Millville side.
Yep.
On the side of the two fields there, that will all be handicap parking. It will be all, we have the signs still from last year, so we'll put those up. And then over at the, next to the basketball courts in that section, that's where we have the performer parking. Because that way they could pull right in, we go over the gate, they could drop off their equipment, then park right there. There's additional parking along the backside of the building there, the Parks building, that we can use for additional vendor and staff parking. Things like that.
Are the bathrooms adequate for? the
We have,
Yeah, porta potties?
so we do have the bathrooms, but we have porta potties, with wash stations and everything that full of water and they're ready to go. Same company we used last year, Flush. And they were great. And then, even the last year on the next morning, we all went back down and kind of cleaned the fields up. And we were surprised to see that it was nowhere near as bad as we thought it was gonna be. So, but now this year with more barrels, maybe it'll be better.
But that was my only question is like, in terms of, somebody going around during the day, if that's something we could put the word out, see if any of our staff are looking for some hours, but if there's even a need for that. I mean, it kind of seemed like you were doing it.
Yeah, any help is, almost at the end of the day, it was nice because it kept me busy all day to do that. And I could just kind of get away from people. I didn't do it. I couldn't do that. So, but we will welcome anybody that, obviously, if you guys are gonna pay them or something, that's not for me to decide, but we'll take any help for anybody that wants to help volunteer or get paid to do it. But again, that's for you guys to work out.
I think it's the same thing we learned through the brother, not so much we, but through the brothers. It's just hire whoever to come in and do the thing, and then you have to think about it.
Yeah, the nice part
Vendors that
all of
that was great.
all the items we've got, they're there to manage. They manage the stage, they manage the sound, they know the bands, so they are already, they know them from other events. Obviously the fireworks guys were there dealing with their piece.
Even
So,
brothers, like
yeah,
that's their thing.
yeah, exactly, and it was
Where do they set the fireworks off from?
from
Intro.
the backfields, the baseball field.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right, okay.
And because there's a fence.
Yeah.
And the tree line already, there's a natural barrier plus
Yeah.
the fence, so the only thing they do, and it's almost impossible to stop. The people that actually park at Imperial, and then they walk along the backside, like that's.
Yeah.
But that's.
There's a path.
Fine edge.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really a big deal with the fireworks guys, and, it was just when it came down to fireworks, we posted somebody both sides and didn't allow anybody.
There's a pre-approved areas, so to speak, right? So the areas that we do like separate, that's already been approved.
Right.
But you can't just come and do whatever you want, it's gotta be approved.
Yeah.
And those two, that field, and then the other field are approved.
And even the tree height, it was fine, it was perfect, and as a matter of fact, too, oddly enough, a lot of people in the lake. Said being on the lake in their boats. Said the fireworks were unbelievable to be seen from there, it was perfect from, so.
Sounds
It
great.
wasn't wind all the way around.
That was great.
All right. All right. Well, that's, I think that's enough discussion for that. We're now gonna go to number 6, which executive session and conduct strategy session in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel to be, collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiated with non-union personnel, meaning the fire chief. It's a roll call vote, Morale, aye.
Cooter, aye.
Rugos, aye.
And we'll return, only to adjourn. So thank you for everybody.
Thank you.
was hoping this would be a fast one. The off-cycle ones seem to be, there's that one that was like, what, like 7 minutes that I called in for.
That was destructive.
Yeah, I was in Amherst, so we're really glad that I.
We returned back to the meeting and, we're now recording again. I see, David, I know you're still there, but, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good night.